The rain hadn't stopped since morning. Jungkook stood outside the towering glass building, his reflection staring back at him, nervous, uncertain, hopeful. This is it. He took a deep breath and stepped inside. Everything felt expensive, cold, controlled, like one wrong move could shatter everything. Mr. Jeon Jungkook? Jungkook turned. A man stood a few feet away. Sharp gaze, calm posture, dangerous silence. Yes, you're here for interview. Follow me. The walk to the office felt longer than it should have. Jungkook could feel it. Eyes on him. Whispers. Tension. Something was off. The office was silent. Too silent. Jungkook stepped inside slowly, clutching his file. Hello, sir. The man behind the desk didn't respond. He just stared. His eyes widened slightly. Not in confusion, but in shock. Jungkook shifted uncomfortably. Sir? Still no response. Then suddenly, the man stood up, chair scraping loudly against the floor. He walked toward Jungkook slowly, step by step, like he was seeing a ghost. Impossible, he whispered. Jungkook blinked. I'm here for the interview. Sir? Jungkook spoke carefully. Is something wrong? Yoongi stepped closer. Slowly. Too slowly. Say your name again. Jeon Jungkook. Silence. Yoongi's gaze darkened. No. Jungkook frowned. Sir, you're lying. I'm not. Yoongi stepped closer. Too close. Studying every detail of Jungkook's face. His jaw tightened. You look exactly like him. Jungkook's heart skipped. Like who? Yoongi didn't answer immediately. Instead, he walked back slowly, sat down, and finally spoke. Jackson. Jungkook swallowed. I don't know anyone by that name. Yoongi watched him carefully. Every blink, every breath. Then, interesting. Yoongi's hand trembled slightly as he reached for a file. He threw it on the table. Photos scattered. Jungkook looked down, and his heart stopped. That's him. No, not him. But exactly him. Same face, same features. Who is this? Jungkook whispered. Yoongi's voice came low, controlled. Jackson. The name felt heavy, dangerous. He was one of the most powerful men in London. A pause, and the most feared being. Jungkook swallowed. Was? Yoongi's eyes darkened. He died today in accident. Silence filled the room. Jungkook looked at the photos again. At the man who looked exactly like him, but whose eyes were empty, cold, cruel. Why do I look like him? Yoongi didn't answer immediately, because even he didn't know. Instead, something else appeared in his eyes. Opportunity. Yoongi slowly sat down, still staring, still calculating. Do you need this job? Jungkook blinked. Yes. How badly? A pause. Very badly. Yoongi leaned forward, voice lower now, more dangerous. What if I told you? You could earn more money than you've ever imagined? Jungkook frowned. Doing what? Yoongi slid the photos closer, his finger tapping on Jackson's face. By becoming him. Silence. Jungkook laughed nervously. That's not funny. I'm not joking. You want me to pretend to be a dead man? Yes. A politician? Yes. Jungkook stood up. This is insane. Yoongi didn't move, didn't react. I came here for a job, not some criminal plan. Yoongi finally spoke. Calm, cold, precise. This job will give you money. A lot of it. Jungkook froze slightly. Enough to change your life. Enough to secure your future. Enough to never worry again. The room felt smaller, heavier, harder to breathe. You don't understand, Jungkook said quietly. I'm not like him. Yoongi nodded slightly. I know. Then why me? Yoongi's answer came without hesitation. Because you're the only one who can replace him. A pause. No one will question his face. No one will doubt his presence. No one will dare to challenge him. Jungkook's chest tightened. And if I refuse? Yoongi's expression didn't change. You walk out. A pause. And lose this opportunity forever. Silence. Then, one final line. Or you stay and become one of the most powerful men in this country. Jungkook looked at his reflection in the glass, then at the photos, then at Yoongi. How much? Yoongi didn't smile, but his voice carried weight. More than you can imagine. Jungkook sat down slowly, heart racing, mind collapsing under the pressure. Jimin's voice echoed in his head. You want to fight the world. Is this it? He whispered to himself. Or am I about to lose myself? Yoongi stood up, extending his hand. Welcome to your new life. Jungkook stared at it. Then, slowly, he took it. And in that moment, Jeon Jungkook didn't just accept a job. He accepted a fate. Good choice. Jungkook didn't feel good. At all. What do I have to do? The man didn't hesitate. Everything. Jungkook looked up. Everything? You speak like him, walk like him, think like him. I'm not him. You will be. Jungkook nodded slowly. Okay. He took a deep breath, trying to steady himself. Teach me. Yoongi's eyes flickered slightly. Stand up. Jungkook did. Look at me. He did. No hesitation, no fear. Jackson never doubts. Jungkook swallowed, trying to hold his gaze steady. Again, this time stronger, colder, better. Yoongi watched carefully. Good. He stepped closer. Now listen carefully. Jungkook's heart pounded. From this moment on. A pause. Then, you are no longer Jungkook. Silence. You are Jackson. Jungkook stood in front of the mirror, wearing a black suit, hair styled differently, expression unfamiliar. The door opened. Yoongi's voice came from behind. It's time. Jungkook didn't move. Time for what? Yoongi replied calmly. Your first appearance. Jungkook's heart dropped. Already? Yes. Where? A public meeting. Jungkook's breath hitched. What if they notice? They won't. And if I make a mistake? Yoongi's voice turned cold. You won't. Silence. Jungkook looked at his reflection one last time. Let's go. And with that, Jungkook walked out. Not as himself, but as someone else. Jackson. The crowd was already angry. Loud. Restless. Dangerous. Rain drizzled lightly, but no one moved. Because today, the Prime Minister was supposed to speak. Jungkook stood behind the stage, hands cold, heart pounding violently. I can't do this. Yoongi adjusted his tie calmly. You can. No, what if I mess up? You won't. Jungkook shook his head. They hate him. Yes. They see right through me. Yoongi stepped closer, lowering his voice. Then don't let them. Silence. Remember what I taught you, Yoongi continued. Cold voice, no hesitation, no empathy. Jungkook swallowed hard. No empathy. His name was announced. Or rather, Jackson's name, the Prime Minister. The crowd erupted, but not in cheers. Liar. You promised us a school. You only care about money. Go back. Jungkook froze. His legs felt heavy, like they didn't belong to him. Go, Yoongi whispered, and Jungkook stepped onto the stage, face of a monster. The moment they saw him, the shouting got louder, more aggressive, more painful. He's here. Look at him. Selfish man. You destroyed our homes. Jungkook's chest tightened. These weren't just angry people. These were broken people. Hurt people. Because of Jackson. Because of the face he was wearing. He stepped toward the microphone, hands slightly shaking. Say something, Yoongi whispered from behind. Jungkook opened his mouth. Nothing came out. Silence stretched. Awkward. Heavy. The crowd grew louder. Can't even speak? Useless. You don't care about us. Jungkook inhaled, then spoke. Enough. The single word cut through the noise. The crowd fell into uneasy silence. Jungkook's voice felt unfamiliar, controlled, sharp, just like he was taught. You speak as if you've been betrayed. Murmurs spread. A man shouted, because we were. Jungkook's jaw tightened. The crowd grew restless again. You promised us a school, a woman cried. And instead you build a BAR, another shouted. Jungkook's chest tightened. A school? He didn't know that. But something inside him reacted. You ignore us. You think we're nothing. You only care about money. Each word hit harder. Deeper. Jungkook clenched the mic slightly. A small boy stepped forward, holding his mother's hand. Sir, he said softly, his voice shaking, I just want to study. Jungkook's eyes locked onto the child. I want to become something. Something inside him cracked. He lowered the mic slowly. His expression changed. The cold mask faded. Yoongi's eyes widened slightly from the side. No, he whispered under his breath. But it was too late. Jungkook stepped forward. What do you really need? The crowd froze, confused. What? Someone asked. Jungkook spoke again. This time, not as Jackson, but as himself. Tell me, he said softly, what do you actually need? The silence deepened. People exchanged glances, unsure. Then, voices began to rise. We need a school. We need clean water. Our homes were destroyed. You took everything from us. Jungkook listened, and for the first time, he understood. Jackson wasn't just feared. He was hated. Jungkook took a deep breath. You're right. The crowd went silent again. Shock. Confusion. You were promised a school, and you deserved better. Yoongi stepped forward slightly, tension rising. Jungkook continued. I didn't listen before. A pause. But I'm listening now. The crowd held its breath. Jungkook's next words changed everything. The bar project. He paused. Yoongi's eyes locked onto him. But Jungkook didn't stop. Is cancelled. Gasps spread instantly. What? Did he just? Is this real? Jungkook's voice grew stronger. I will build the school. When? I will personally make sure of it, Jungkook said. Tears filled some eyes in the crowd. And I will make sure you are never ignored again. The crowd erupted. in disbelief. Is he serious? He's changed. This can't be real. The moment Jungkook stepped off stage, Yoongi grabbed his arm. Hard. What was that? Jungkook looked at him, breathing heavily. The truth. You broke character. For a second, Jungkook thought he had ruined everything. But then, Yoongi let go, and something unexpected happened. He smiled, very slightly. Do you know how long I wanted to do that? Jungkook blinked. What? Yoongi looked toward the crowd. Jackson never listened, Yoongi said quietly. But maybe. He glanced at Jungkook. You can.